What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. For those new viewers who don't know me, I kind of want to use this video to kind of introduce myself and reintroduce myself to my returning viewers. I started this YouTube channel years ago. Didn't really do too much with it for a while. And then I started backcountry hunting outdoors. You'll be able to see some videos on here, where I documented my life and my adventures of a new hunter, tagging you guys along on my shenanigans. So I'm gonna try something a little bit different this time. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of education, and a lot of experience that I could pass on to some people. It may not be relevant to everybody. It may not help out everybody, but if I can help somebody out, spark a brain or two, I'll be fine with that. I'm also a hustler too. I got a hustler's mentality. If I could gain some subscribers, make a little bit of money off the channel too, while helping people, why not? I started quite a few businesses in my life, some successful, some complete failures. We'll see if it works. I'm not in it for the clout. I'm not in it for the likes. I'm not in it for the views. It'd be nice, but we'll see where this channel goes, where it takes us. To kind of give you a preview on who I am and what you can probably look forward to, either learning or listening to, is I'm gonna start off by introducing myself, letting you know who I am and what my experiences are that I can speak on. Okay, so my name is Josh James. I'm in my late 30s, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've lived a lot of different lives. I'll say that. I've lived a lot of different lives. A lot of people be afraid to start over, or a lot of people hit rock bottom and want to quit, want to bow out. Me, I tell them, so what? Start over. Pick up the pieces, clean yourself off, and start over. I've done it plenty of times. I don't even know how many lives I've lived, but I count them. And matter of fact, I'll do a video series on that. Each life I've lived, I'll do a video kind of explaining the details of those lives. But anyway, I'm rambling. Okay, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I was raised in the streets. I grew up in the projects and the ghettos from the bottom. I've had nothing. I know what it's like to be at the very bottom. I was there. Okay. I survived Hurricane Katrina when it hit New Orleans in 2005. Was evacuated to Houston, Texas. And that's where I graduated from. I graduated high school in Houston, Texas. I still got my diploma from Louisiana. Something the two states had worked out or whatever. But after that, I joined the military at 18. Went to the United States Army, regular Army active duty. I did that at 18. I did that for 8 years. 8 years in the military. Did a lot there. I'll talk about that in another video. I'll go into more details. But 8 years in the military. I got out of the military, and right when I got out of the military, I went straight to a police academy. So I got certified as a peace officer in Texas. Around that time, there was a lot of cops. It ain't nothing like it is now. There was a lot of cops. Cops were struggling to get jobs back then. It's easy now. You can get a job anywhere as a cop now. But anyway, I got hired on at a police department in New Mexico. So I ended up relocating to New Mexico, and I did the police thing for 10 years. Did 10 years there. Same, I'll talk about that in another video. I'll go into some details and stuff, but I got out of the law enforcement field, and right now I'm in the oil and gas industry. I'm an environmental scientist right now, and I work in the oil field. So I've been doing this for a little bit. I'm new there, so I don't have a lot of experience there, but one of the things I can speak on experience wise, the little that I do know, and we can talk about something called imposter syndrome, because I kind of feel like I went through that and I'm still going through that. So I'll be able to pass on some experiences of that. And I'll tell you now, like I said, I've lived a lot of different lives. I've lived a lot of different, lifestyles, hobbies, a lot. I feel like I lost my accent a long time ago. Some people say it come out. So you might kind of hear like a southern accent come out sometimes. You might hear a country accent come out sometimes. It just depends. So, but if I'm using some type of slang or something like that, I'll try to clarify. And outside of that, right now, I live in Texas. Okay, I live in Texas. I live on a small family farm. I ended up purchasing a farm while I was working in the police force. I have my family there. I'm happily married with kids, and I run a farm. It's the first farm in my family. I named it James Family Farm, and we've raised everything from hogs to chickens, ducks, turkeys. We ran cattle. We ride horses, raised goats. I mean, the whole nine. I would think at one point we had over 100 animals on the farm, while still working full time. And let me tell you, that's a lot of work. So I got experience there too, in farming and agriculture, people looking into getting into stuff like that. And I jumped in head first, no experience, A lot of the things that I've done in my life, I had to learn on my own. I didn't have a mentor to teach me or nothing like that. So that's kind of why I'm making this channel as well. Maybe I can kind of help out somebody that was in my position at one time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm Josh James, and I'm just trying to live life, man. I'm trying to make it. Like I said, I was at the bottom. I was pretty goddamn close to the top too. Fell right back down to the bottom. Got it out the mud, working my way back up. I say where I'm at in my life right now, I'm probably midway. I ain't at the top. Pretty darn far from it right now. I ain't at the bottom either though, so I'm kind of in that midsection, working my way up, and I have you guys here taking that ride with me while I climb my way back up to the top. All right. So if you're interested in any of that, I've done a lot. I've flown planes. I've been a pilot. Hunting enthusiast. I hunt, fish, trap, ride horses, raise animals. I run cattle. I got law enforcement experience. I was on the SWAT team. I was in the military. I have combat deployments. I like building Gundams. If you know what Gundams are, or Warhammer, I build model kits and paint them. I have a degree in information technology and computer programming. I have a bachelor's degree in environmental science. I'm very, very versatile. So I feel like I've done a lot and I've got a lot to share. I'm not going to get too heavy on religion, but I am a religious person. So I'm going to kind of speak on that a little bit from here and there. I ain't going to overwhelm you with it, but I am a God-fearing Christian man. So I do have beliefs there, and those beliefs, believe it or not, impact my daily life. So yeah, that's that. So this was just the intro. I kind of just wanted to introduce myself to everybody, reintroduce myself to people who have been subscribed to me for years, following the channel. I appreciate y'all coming back. Um, Next up, I'll start story time, where I'll describe each of the lives that I've lived up to this point, and we'll continue on from there. From there, we'll branch off to specific topics, like I talked about imposter syndrome. We can talk about some of the hobbies that I have. I'm real big into black powder, things like that. Video games, computers, law enforcement, of course. I got a lot of experience there. Supervision. I've been a supervisor half my life. Military stuff we can talk about. A lot of things. I got a lot of knowledge to pass on. Being a pilot, a lot of things. So hopefully you guys stick around for the ride. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share it, pass it on. If you know a young man or a young woman, grown or young, that need a little bit of motivation, maybe need a little bit of guidance or knowledge in some of the areas that I described, share the video with them, share the channel with them, see where it goes. All right. I don't know how often I'll be uploading. I don't know if this is gonna be a daily thing, weekly thing, or anything like that. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I do have a full-time job, and I run a full-time farm, right? And it ain't just a hobby farm; it's a business. So there's a lot that come along with that. And of course, I got multiple kids to raise as well, and I'm a husband. One of my models is, I strive to be a better father, a better husband, and a better man. As a matter of fact, don't y'all be stealing my ideas, all right? I'm gonna have to trademark that, make some t-shirts or something. I told you I'm a hustler, all right? Start slanging them t-shirts, all right? So, yeah. So if you're interested, I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.